Shabbat Shalom. Now I can talk. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everybody. I heard Cantor inviting us to turn on cameras so we can see faces. That feels like the COVID equivalent of 10 years ago. Come on, come sit closer. Be a part of this. It feels like the COVID equivalent. We'll turn on our cameras so we can see one another and really see being a part of the community. Hopefully to see those of you who are on, even if it's not comfortable to have the camera on. It's good to know how many are here, but we do indeed really love getting to see faces, and we are so pleased to get to join together this Friday evening while we continue to keep one another safe through this most recent surge with the Omicron variant. But always simultaneously doing our best to hold the two values of being together as a community and at the same time keeping that community safe and healthy. So Shabbat Shalom, welcome, and so glad that we are all here. If you are a little rusty on it, it's been a little bit since you may have been with us on Zoom, you can go to the BEZ 613 website, go to BEZ613.org, and under the worship menu, select Shabbat and scroll down, and you'll be able to find our virtual Shabbat resources, which will have a PDF of our Siddur. Tonight we'll be using Siddur Kol HaNeshama. You can follow along with our prayer book, and we will screen share a song sheet when those times come. And we will go ahead and open our Shabbat, this Shabbat, simultaneously celebrating the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Shabbat Shirah, the Shabbat of song, celebrating our ancestors going forth into freedom from bondage as they sang the song at the parted waters. So we begin our service with the latter of those two in mind, with Ozi V'Zimrat Yah, the song that comes directly from that Shirat Hayam, from that Song of the Sea.
So I put up our song sheet for tonight so that everyone can follow and join along with us. I think someone needs to. Oh, there she is.
There we go. Now I can unmute myself.
We're rusty at the Zoom.
We are rusty. So we'll now turn to wherever your candles may be, whether they are on screen with you or just off screen like mine, as we turn into our Siddur at page 5 for our candle lighting blessing. We'll draw the light to us as the cantor leads us in the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen. Now turn Psalm 96, you can find on page 25 as we enter our Kabbalat Shabbat, our Psalms of joy and singing and welcoming in Shabbat, page 25.
I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai ul haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Shiru Adonai shir chadash.
As we've sung to God a new song, we now turn to Lecha Dodi, and we welcome in Shabbat, the bride of the Jewish people, the bride that keeps us together each week, gives us the reason to come together, to relax and be a part of the community. We'll do the first two verses of Lecha Dodi, and then the concluding verse. So we'll start on page 41 and go through it, and then to 47 to conclude. Being welcomed Shabbat in, Take a moment to say, Hine Matov, how good it is to be together as a community, even if not always the way we want and imagine togetherness to be. I'll invite you, at least for the moment, if you are not already set that way, to turn your Zoom to the gallery view. So you can really see all of us together. You can go back to the speaker view if you want to look afterward. Take a moment, turn your screen to the gallery view and look at all of us together as we sing together, Hine Matov Umanayim, how good it is to sit together and to see one another's faces in togetherness. Now, we've welcomed in Shabbat, greeted Shabbat like a bride, and we've acknowledged our joy of being together. And so now we turn to Ahavat Olam. And we thank God for the love of this tradition that brings us together with Ahavat Olam on page 63 of our Siddur. Ahavat With that love from God, we now acknowledge God's oneness and how God brings us together. Shema, followed by the Ve'ahavta, through on page 65, and we will conclude it on page 73.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם מאוד על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם באמת.
I mentioned before, this weekend, we celebrate both Shabbat Shirah and the life and work and ongoing work that we now take up of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so tonight we actually bring both of those things together with a combined I'm on my way and Mi Chamocha. As we think of both of these together, we will share the song sheet to the screen so that we can sing along with the cantor.
I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha, me'adam hakodesh, nora tehilot, aseh zeleh. Mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים זה לי ענו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. Great God, I'm on my way. I'll ask my brother to come and go with me. I'll ask my sister to come and go with me. I'll ask my children to come and go with me. Oh, great God, I'm on my way.
We are indeed on our way, always on our way, and also noting the passage of time, light and dark come and go in our lives, and as we seek moments of shelter and healing. And so I now offer space for our healing prayers. We say, God of our ancestors, as you have cared for the children of Israel, we ask you to care for our beloved community members who are in need of healing. This week, we think of Shirley Steinman, Larry Baker, Levi Chisholm, Brian Zoner, Angela Fry, Amy Maurer Martin, Lindsay Yagi, Jane Bashir, Aaron Greenwald, Terry Reed, Evan Brancrazio, Connie Smukler, Carol Auslander, Ron Safran, Lorraine Greenberg, Spencer Tu, Carl Goodfellow, Ariel Shoshana Bat Esther Zelda, Helene Waldman, Natalie Kagan, Rebecca Maccabee, Sue Baker, Karen Reisman, Diane Marie Reisman, Andrew Whitson, Ken Kavensky, and Ellie Hirsch. As we see some already. We invite other names in the chat as we hold all of those community members and beyond. Continue also to cope with consequences of COVID virus and various manifestations and mutations. We will share on the screen again our prayer for healing as we think of all of those and all those in our hearts.
May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishebeirach imotin mekor habracha la'avodenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Dear God, for all of those we've mentioned aloud, who've been mentioned in the chat, we hold those names close. We also hold the names in our hearts close. Please be with them in their times of sickness and suffering. Treat them with compassion and guard them safely through danger. And lend them a portion of your strength. Continue our service with the verses that brought us Shabbat, Neshamru, found on page 85.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ראובן בני ישראל, בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
In a moment, we'll offer some space for a silent prayer, some Amidah space. I often find myself thinking about this particular Torah portion. We see our ancestors go out of the bondage of slavery in Egypt and into the confusion and uncertainty and just confusion of wandering in the wilderness. But in the moments in the middle, when there's a miracle that happens, they find it in them to sing. And they find it in them to celebrate that moment of joy, that even though they know that they are leaving the bondage, and they don't know what they're going to yet, but they find it in them to sing and to be joyful. So as we take a few moments for silent prayer this evening, a few moments for Amidah, you invite us to find the things that bind us, that we can let go, acknowledge the things that confuse us, and hope that we can solve them soon, but find it in this moment in between the two to feel joy and to feel song. And we'll continue singing together in a moment. But for now, we'll take a moment to reflect on what we hope to breathe into song in a few moments. One who creates peace on high, bring peace to us, into all who dwell on this earth. Say amen. We find those moments of joy, and we find also those moments of continued work to improve on this world and to continue the work of justice. We will sing for our song for inspiration this evening, We Shall Overcome. I believe we will share.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we'll walk hand in hand someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we will not be afraid one day. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We
In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we'll share for just a moment. Oh, we shall indeed walk hand in hand and work toward justice each day with that dream. Now, and now is the time. Now is that time. We'll now turn back to our Sidur, do our Kiddush and Motzi. So if you've been waiting, if you have your wine and your challah handy, bring them close to you. So we turn to our Sidur on page 119 for the Kiddush, and then we'll continue into Hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit. Ki hu yom tefila lemikra kodesh zecher litziyat mitzrayim. Ki banu ba'arta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava u'v'ratzon Hinachaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Chaim.
If you have your challah handy, do Hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. L'chaim and B'tei Avon. Enjoy our Kiddush and our Motzi in anticipation of moving to our Shabbat dinners in a few moments. But before we wrap our service, we of course must always remember those who's come before us, whose lives have touched our own and taught us the transcendent power of love and memory. This week, we send sincere condolences to Myra Fisher, to Lori Shankerman, Jeff Fisher, Dee Cooler, and their families on the death of their beloved husband, father, brother, and grandfather, Donald C. Fisher. As well, we send condolences to Carrie Berman and her family on the death of her beloved mother, Virginia Howells, and to Sheila Tamler and family on the death of her beloved sister, Marlene Leeds. We also continue to extend condolences to those families observing Shloshim, observing the first 3 months, or the first 30 days of loss for Helen K. Smith, Roger Gordon Lord, and Douglas Allen Mills. I invite all those who are in mourning and who are observing Yahrzeit to join me in our Sidur on page 131 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach liroteh ve'amlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach de'alam umei almaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ve'alma ve'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alenu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Alenu ve'al Yisrael, ve'al yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. May all those memories we hold always be for a blessing as we hold on to those we have loved and keep them alive in our hearts. And this evening, as far as announcements ahead, we are enjoying our our Martin Luther King break for our religious schools. We won't have a religious school this coming Sunday, neither virtually nor in person, but do stay tuned for what we will do when the time comes to resume next week. So if you have students in the religious school, please keep an eye on the emails for that. Our bowling event for this coming Sunday has been postponed, but we will announce when that will also be ready to happen again, always with wanting to be a community, but a healthy and safe one. Not sure if we have other announcements right this moment for January. A bit of a quiet month as we weather this together. Oh, but Sisterhood's Tu B'Shvat Seder, there's one, is on 7:30, I believe, on Zoom on Tuesday evening, the 18th. So you should receive the link for that from the Sisterhood emails. And the following Tuesday will be the Searching for Justice Article Club, open to all members, hosted by our Sisterhood. So both of those are coming up on Zoom this Tuesday and next Tuesday. I think I'm forgetting. Turn to Cantor, am I forgetting any of your announcements? Okay, we will, in thinking of Shabbat Shira and singing and those moments of, finding those moments of joy and singing out to them, and turning to everyone's favorite singing prophetess, we will close with Miriam's song, inspired by Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron, and sung by beloved Debbie Friedman of blessed memory, shared on our screen.
Women dancing with their timbrels followed near as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. And Miriam stood up on the shores and gazed across the sea. The wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice and sung. She sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, and we're going to dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and we too should sing and dance the whole night long. Hamilton's already ready to do, I hear.
Yeah.
We'll say Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see your faces here on Zoom and just to know that you are there. We'll say Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for joining us. Join us for the Torah Talk and live stream service tomorrow morning on Facebook at 9 and on our website at 10. Otherwise, we say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Oh.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hamilton was missing everybody.
There he is.
Here he is.
Oh, his ears perked up. Everybody's like, ooh, yes.
Yep.
Shalom.
So he's got one ear up and one ear down.
There's a dog. Hi, Mom.
There he is.
Laila Tov.
All right. Good to see everybody.
Lovely to see you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. All right. I'm signing out.
Hi, Florida.
Hi.
Hey.
They didn't recognize you with the beard, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's temporary.
Is it? Yeah.
Very-
I hope so.
can do that.
Okay, good to see you.
Yes.
We'll call you.
Everybody
Bye.
good?
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Shabbat shalom.
Okay, it's done.
Go eat your dinner. Thank you.